anybody in the room has to ask.
Okay, so first off, I'm going to start passing these around. These are from the Small Business Administration. They're fact sheets and a couple of resources financial-wise. So I think the first thing we need to do is, the fire chief is here, and I think we should give him a hand for his hard work.
Actually, I neglected to mention them, but the fire department, we had all of our neighboring fire departments responded. The rescue squad responded. The city staff did an excellent job. I think we're extremely fortunate that with everybody that turned out.
So I'd like to list the fire departments that did assist on Saturday. Sylva, Cullowhee, Savannah, Balsam, Cashers, Canada, Sawnook, Cherokee. And I'd also like to thank the Sylva Police Department, the Town Maintenance Crew, West Care, EMS, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, the Rescue Squad, the Highway Patrol, the State Bureau of Investigation, and Jackson County Emergency Management, and building inspections. Everyone was incredible, and without their help, we couldn't have saved as many buildings that were saved downtown. So we'll give you an update on where we are right now. So we have a structural engineer who's coming here at 10 in the morning from the Hartford Insurance Company, and they'll be able to make the call for what's going to happen to the adjacent buildings when the Hoopers building comes down. We can't at this point open Main Street or Mill Street until the building comes down. But a structural engineer will know more after they come tomorrow. We'll know the first course of action, how dangerous it is, and we'll get a game plan from there. Do you all have anything that needs to be added before we start hearing from the merchants? I do want to say, though, that we're going to do this as quickly as possible. It's not going to be fast, but we're going to do it as fast as we can.
Right. I guess
it's unrelated, but there's like a big glare there, and I can't see you guys. If there's some way to adjust that mover, it would really help. I apologize, but I'm blind.
okay.
Perhaps turn it so upward so the sun isn't coming down. It might work.
Is there any other questions? All good. I have a lot of questions. All right.
I'm just wondering if it's possible to move the roadblock down to Mill and Main. That way, at least the 4 businesses, being the Sylva Innovation, the coffee shop, Papoose, and Sam's, could be accessed. That Mill and Main still won't be able to be accessed there. We can get our deliveries.
Do you want to?
The only problem with that is if we get a tractor trailer down there, there's no place to turn around. If he comes down to Mill and Main, so if you can just bear with us for a little while. Like Paige said, we're going as fast as we can. And I'll help you or anybody else here getting a tractor trailer, whatever needs to be done. I know it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but it's all we can do right now. If I'd let people go down Main Street or down Mill Street, I know, but if the tractor trailer goes past there, there's no place for them to turn around.
Could we open it to traffic and prohibit tractor and
Right, that's what I'm
We
wondering.
can try it. They're still on Main Street though.
Well, we had the tractor trailer pulled over at the fire department about 5 minutes ago. That's something we can certainly look at and
That's what I was thinking too. They can make a loop
They got
between
signs
your and my
that say
place.
Local, no, the detour could be, say detours, but local traffic. I don't know, there's plenty of places around traffic trail.
There is, they do it often, and also it's causing like a huge backup where you can't make a left on the Chipper curve there. People are just kind of trying to pull into like the Speedy's parking lot and make a U-turn and cut off traffic to go that way, where if it was open to Mill and Main, they could make a left on Chipper curve and it would clear up a lot of the congestion.
I'm gonna meet with DOT tomorrow. I've got a call in for them right now. It's actually their road. But it being on a Friday or Saturday, we went ahead and set everything up, and they've assisted us with signs and whatnot. There will be a structural engineer here tomorrow to look at the building. As far as I know, it's in the morning. But right now, we're just kind of up in the air. And I know what you're saying, and Gary was saying, Nicole, that you can say local traffic only, but we've got up no tractor trailers, and only single vehicles can go through, and they're still coming through. They don't see it. We'll do whatever we can to assist you. Let me meet with them tomorrow.
Say if I close for a week, would the other lanes be open in a week, you know?
I'm hopeful. If it were up to me, they'd be on the ground right now, Gary.
Because I could just get all my employees, I've got 10 employees, but I can give them a week's vacation and just close down for a week. If I know, but I don't know if I could do 2 weeks, you know. I could, but it would,
We certainly hope that it won't extend that far out. We don't have a timetable, but we are pushing it as fast as we can.
I know, and I mean, I'm just trying, you know, to,
So we fully understand.
Are we saying a minimum of a week then, if they do want to give their employees a vacation? No, we couldn't say minimum, so maybe more.
Well, I don't know if we have a minimum or a maximum.
Steve said he'd know more
If they tell
tomorrow.
us, yeah, tomorrow we'll know more. If they tell us that we can take it down, then we can open something. And we aren't involved in taking it down, it's the insurance company. So,
Once all the steps are taken, the demolition of the front and back walls, I don't think will take that long. But you've got to make sure that all the necessary steps are taken and everybody's blessed it before you bring in the demolition equipment.
So you really don't know if we're talking about days or weeks or maybe a month or two. Is that right?
that's
I'm not
correct.
going to agree with a month or two.
At this point, we don't know.
As I said, we hope that there's more questions than we have answers.
Well, I understand
And
you're doing everything you can. I appreciate
we are
that.
doing everything we can.
But I think everybody just wants kind of, looking at days or weeks.
If we have your email address, we'll try to update you daily.
Right now, there's a crime scene tape going from the old Mill and Main restaurant across the road. Then there's a duplicate one down by Ward Plumbing, which means that nobody's even walking down Back Street where you can walk. Can we at least get that replaced with a traffic barricade so that people don't see that crime scene tape, do not cross, and then they don't even go to the glass shop or to the dry cleaner, places where they could walk that are open on Main Street, but are saying that you should not go there on Back Street.
We could probably replace the crime tape, but you really don't want anybody walking in front of that building front or
All the way down by the glass shop?
No.
Because they're on Main Street.
Where the fence is right now.
just where the
The
fence.
orange
Right,
fence.
right. So we've got another
I can
one
take
that's
all that
all,
down.
we've got another, great, thank you.
I'm taking it.
Okay. Sure.
2 questions. One, is it possible to put, I've asked this for years, but now it seems even more important, if possible, to put a sign on Main Street on either end that there are open businesses on Mill Street. We have had some customers walk through everything today, but, like he was saying, you look down there and it's like, oh, I better not go. So if there's something we can get up on Main Street to let people know. And secondly, right now, our insurance company is relying on my word, but I'm sure there's going to be a moment here that they're going to request some documentation. So is there documentation that the town can provide or somebody can provide that I can provide to the insurance company when it gets to that point? I mean, they're just relying on what's in the paper right now, but there's some, because we're not sure what's happening. But as these claims start coming through, then who do I contact?
Contact me and let me know what you need, and I'll get that for you.
Thank you.
I have a question. I know that normally we would have to go through all sorts of applying for permits to do signs on the sidewalk, and I spoke with Julie about this, but is there any way we can kind of waive the normal sign rules and get some signage boards out in front of our businesses to let people know that we're open? Or, you know, some sort of signage on the sidewalk instead of, because we have no way to let people know, especially when I'm as close to the tape as I am, you know, people just cruise right on by when they see our boarded up door.
Any of the commissioners have an objection to that? I'd say that'd be fine. We have to work together and, you know, whatever's necessary to try to get back to normal as quick as we can.
Can I get my stuff out of my store? I got about $100,000 in inventory in there, plus a bunch of irreplaceable military antiques. That's just now, especially since they won't turn the power on, so I can't pump anything. Just sitting in a bunch of water and rusting, and also depreciating in value. I'd like to, you know, get in there. I'll sign whatever waivers I got. It doesn't matter. I'm a big boy. I can walk through a building. I can get grabbed. I don't have to worry about stuff falling on my head. I'll indemnify you guys.
Has the adjuster seen it yet?
I don't know. I don't know whose insurance is taking care of this. Hey, y'all had a bunch of inspectors come through my building yesterday morning. I assume they took pictures.
Okay. The Hartford Insurance Company is coming to check tomorrow. If you have a renter's policy or something like that, then you need to contact them.
Yeah, that apparently lapsed about 2 months ago without them calling me, so this is why I'm kind of in a little bit of a shitstorm.
Tomorrow, the structural engineer comes at 10, and that will be extremely helpful as far as determining exactly how dangerous the condition is. Obviously, you have so as far as the walls caving in on you and that type of thing. That's what we have to find out tomorrow. Dan, you there?
Has someone just put spray sets in that wall?
Well, you're motion makers, right?
Huh?
You're talking about motion makers?
I'm talking about Backstreet Air Source. It's kind of the bunker on Backstreet.
So I'd say let's let that structural engineer come in, because we don't know if it could, I mean, it could go for any second, as far as we know. It could be up there for 100 years.
So could a comment. I really don't give a damn. I need to get my stuff out.
Well, the building's condemned. You're not allowed in there without a police officer.
If you peoples, you ain't doing nothing.
That's uncalled for.
Sorry. I'm a little bit frustrated.
So, we're not.
Who would have to, if he's willing to assume all the risk, who would have to give him permission to go into that? That's strictly a safety thing. Nobody wants anybody else to get hurt.
It's condemned. We're talking, the structural engineer will be here at 10 tomorrow. My advice that we wait until he gives his opinion. Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, we think that there's a beam that might run between the Hooper's building and across on the Motion Makers one that is one solid beam. Is that correct? And so
no, there's a solid wall that separates Motion Makers and Travelinas. But my concern right now, and I'm not a structural engineer, is the building actually separating and falling. Because I'm seeing some bowing in the building. Of course, you had heat expansion and contraction on that building. And what I'm seeing on the front of the building and some on the back is that they are actually leaning out. I have not measured the buildings yet, but you know, it's going to fall. If it fell, it'd go all the way across Back Street, or it may just fall in one lane. I don't know. If the whole wall went at once, it could cover the whole street.
But sir, what we're saying is if you go in there and you get killed because it falls on you, and we said it was okay, then we're liable. So we're saying it's not okay. That's the. Well, I'm just saying, we're saying it's not okay from a health, safety, and welfare standard. With the structural engineer being here at 10, we'll know something hopefully by noon tomorrow.
Okay, my question, I'm Jarena Parker, I'm a CPA downtown above Black Rock, and Paige mentioned that the engineer's coming from the Hartford. Is that the town's insurance, and why would?
No, it's Jones.
It's Jones, okay. Thank you.
And was Travelino's insured? Was that insured, that thing?
I believe Ms. Stearns has all the insurance on both of those buildings.
Well, no, that's that, but I mean, was this?
I mean, they had liability insurance.
Did they? Am I gonna be able to work on that?
I don't know. I mean, liability
I
covers your
didn't have a
personal.
non-fire suppressed kitchen in the historic building.
There's 18-inch firewall between those buildings.
That's not a water wall.
Anybody else?
I realize we're talking about his space. I'm Kent with Motion Makers, and right now I've got the restoration services crew scheduled for tomorrow morning to come in and empty our building of the critical customer belongings, our tools to continue business. Not all of our inventory, but just the stuff that we can continue to maintain our customers right now. Are we allowed to do that? We were allowed to go in there with a police escort, but obviously a policeman's not going to hold the building up. Or do we need to wait till the structural engineer?
I think you have to wait till the structural engineer. I mean, I know that there were some immediate things that, I mean, it's going to require some investigation. Obviously, that structural engineer is going to go after in there. You've obviously got damage. It probably won't be that different between 8 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, and then we'll have an answer. So I'd say wait until we hear from the structural engineer.
Okay.
Obviously, it'd be nice for you to get those things out no matter what he says. I mean, obviously, I don't think we're going to try to topple the building on top all your stuff, but we need to have somebody that knows what they're talking about to give the go-ahead on that.
Who are we gonna have to contact tomorrow to see what the engineer says?
You'll have to contact town hall, or if you see the structural engineer, or it'll probably be at town hall. We'll probably submit a press release so that everybody's kept aware.
All right.
Somebody, you agree with that, Dave? We'll do a press release.
Can we put it on the website too?
There's a lot.
Wouldn't that be in an email to us? Is that the kind of thing you're going to be emailing to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Any information we have, we'll email it to you if we know your email address. In addition to that, we'll do press release.
Yes, my name's Rosa. I manage Hooker's Pawn Shop, Arsenal Artifacts, and Paradise Music. Hooker's has reported to me that they had to cut a hole in this roof, that the inspector told them the fireman cut a hole in the roof of their building. They're wanting me to send somebody out to repair that. Do I need to wait till the inspector gives the okay before I send my guys out to fix that?
That building's not condemned.
Yeah.
No.
So it's,
Dan?
That building's not condemned, so I don't see any problem with doing that.
so that's okay? Okay.
Anyone else?
Just to clarify, the police tape, is that going to be removed where the only barricade is the orange barricade directly in front of those?
Dan?
Yes. Tammy and I just talked, and that will come down as soon as we're done here.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm Sherry Demos, and I own the wine shop, and I know Nicole was talking about maybe the traffic pattern where it stopped. We couldn't just have something that listed the businesses that were between Speedy's and where the road divides to, because like for me, that's a long ways around, and the grocery store sells wine, and it's really going to make a significant difference if I were a customer, I wouldn't make all that travel around to go to my shop, I go to the grocery store. But everybody's about convenience and time.
Well, I think we've already agreed that you could put up a sandwich board or some type of sign like that doesn't meet the current requirements.
But for parking, I mean, I'm talking about like,
I think what she's saying is, could we get a list of the businesses that are beyond her, so that people who are looking for, you know, oh, I wonder what's down here, or if I go this way, am I gonna hit these businesses? She's not saying, can she put up an open sign? Can we say what's beyond her, so people are not making unnecessary, is that what you're saying? Unnecessary laps around looking for something, to keep the traffic, which is already bad, from being worse.
I don't see any problem with that.
And maybe we could also do some signage with the parking lots that are more accessible to your business, the diagonal in your business.
And Mary, that's a great idea, if there could be maybe greater signage to the Bridge Park parking. I mean, I know there's the town sign, but just so, and there's arrows pointing that direction.
I don't know if this question got asked. Is there, in this, are we going to be running any type of incentives or increased advertising right now to like make, locally at least, to let people know that the businesses that are still here, and that, I don't know, I might have missed that if that's already come up.
Well, I'm sure the press will help us all they can there, and we can work with the radio station as well to try to make sure that, you know, Sylva is open for business. The center of our town unfortunately shut down, and the town will help any way that we can.
What about like a tax-free weekend for back to school or something?
I think that's a state requirement there. We don't have the authority to do a tax-free weekend.
Or just some sort of incentive.
I believe I saw the chamber making rounds this morning trying to get a list of what was, Miss Julie, she can answer this question for you here. I believe I saw the chamber down there this morning make a list of businesses that were open.
We did. And we're ready to do some advertising to be supportive of all of the merchants on Main and Mill Street. Whether you're directly or indirectly impacted, it impacts us all here in Sylva. So we'll be ready to do that with Paige's direction and help. Happy to do it.
That answers whatever people down there.
Okay, well, we weren't visited this morning. We work for Advanced Home Care, which is catty-corner across the street, so we weren't visited this morning, and we are open. But when the building comes down, are we going to be notified whether or not we can remain open, or how that's going to occur when the building is set for demolition?
We will keep you fully informed.
Make sure you get your name on the list.
I did, but yeah, I just did.
Then is it a given that the building is going to be taken down? Is it going to be?
I think so.
Is it given already before the structural engineer comes in?
You don't have any intentions of trying to save the building, do you, Joe?
No.
Okay.
If we could save that front facade, we might try, but they've got to check it out too for stability, and I don't know that it can make it.
At this point, there's no intention to try to save the building. When you look at it, it doesn't look to be salvageable to me.
What about the gas lines down there? Has all that been shut off?
I would not think so. That's underground. That should be fine.
Yes, Tony's saying that that's safe.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
I know that I work over at Wells Fargo, and we've had many consumers come into the bank this morning, just ask what's open down and how to get there. We're trying to show them the best way, but having a list or maybe getting out to the media what businesses are open. We've had many people come in.
I think there's only going to be a handful of businesses that are closed. Most of them will be open. Now, it will, in some cases, you're going to have to walk a little further than you would normally.
Well, the blockades and the caution tapes, I think it's more, they look at that and they completely just, I guess,
You can walk down one side of Main Street, and then, of course, the three buildings, I guess, really in the center of the problem are taped off, but you should be able to get to the other buildings.
I have an idea, because you guys were talking about this, and I think that maybe between Julie and the chamber and through Southwestern and the town, we can put together like even a track card that we can hand out to every business throughout the town to let people know, so that when they do ask what's downtown, what's open, you can hand it out and has a list of who they are and where they're at. That might be at least a little bit helpful, because that could be part of your advertising when people's feet are on the ground downtown. That's something that, I think it would be really helpful, because if you're in certain areas, you need to know what's. Just like the brochure. So we could even. We can modify anything that you've got to narrow it down and eliminate the ones that aren't open, but highlight the ones that still are.
Well, I think that's a fantastic idea. And then on the ones like us, you have to access by foot. You can't come up and park. Just put,
Yeah, we can denote maybe
accessible
something
or something
specific.
like that, and that way they know that they can still get there. Yeah, it's a little legwork, but they can get there.
Yeah, we can be a little creative
And
with
even
that.
if the businesses that are closed, maybe do point of contact on there with phone numbers, so that customers
Absolutely.
who may visit the mountains every 3 or 4 months and say, what happened to my favorite business? We can say, well, they were affected by the fire, but let me give you a contact number in case,
Yeah, we can put a website or a phone number on there. I think, Julie, I'll help you with that.
Can we,
Volunteers, you.
I don't know who would be responsible or who we would contact for this, but can we start putting signage farther out than it may already be, like toward the exits? You know how they do with Mountain Heritage Day and Western, they have the signs that say, turn here for this. Can we start doing that maybe further out to avoid some of the congestion? Or is that already happening?
I have all of DOT signboards right now. They've got them in other counties. And we got all of them right now.
Okay.
And we have one borrowed from the sheriff's office.
So so we'll be trying to redirect the unnecessary stuff further out than to keep them from, just people who don't know better than getting snarled up and.
What about, instead of a list of businesses that are open, doing some type of map with the traffic,
Yeah, you could do
current
that.
traffic rerouting is?
Yeah.
I noticed coming down here that Spring Street was closed off this afternoon, or whatever, the gap between Main and Mill Street. Was that just for this afternoon, or?
No. That's going to be closed for a little while. I don't know how long yet, Eric, but I'm trying to keep traffic moving so I can get them into town.
Gotcha.
And if I've got people coming down, then I've got to leave that light on the cycle. And people were stopping for it today because DOT made me put it, I had it on flash. They made me put it back on just the regular cycle, and they stopped when there was a red light. It says no turn on red, so they were doing the right thing.
Right.
But I talked to Scott Cook, and he got them, he allowed us to put it to a flashing yellow. So most people are just keeping moving now.
So they'll come from this way up and on to the right is what you're
So
saying?
right now, yes, that's the way it.
So delivery trucks essentially would do that, correct?
Down Municipal to Allen Street and then on to Mill Street up here at the corner.
Okay, let me just clarify. Which buildings, only the condemned buildings are the only ones that we cannot access by foot, is that
Right.
correct?
That's correct.
So which buildings are condemned?
Part of Black Rock. Your building's not.
Okay.
Upstairs
The other-
on your
okay, gotcha.
building's okay. Motion Makers and Trevelino's, the old Hoopers.
So I can walk there
And anything.
Gotcha.
Backstreet Airsoft, and if there's in the sign shop on Southern Signs, I think it is, on Backstreet.
Okay.
Who else had damage, smoke damage, water damage, anybody?
Back Street Humanity.
I did.
Is having some cleaning done.
Besides stuff, that total damage. Straight under.
Invasion.
But can I say something though?
And we're happy to help you try to relocate, and Rich, Julie, and I will do anything we can to assist you.
My name is Josh. I'm pastor here at Lifeway, and I just wanted to mention one thing we do have available at Lifeway is a small army of volunteers. So if there are businesses that need help moving, clearing out your stores once you have the go-ahead to do that, or you're going to move to somewhere else on Main Street, if we need to have a town moving day or something like that, I know there's plenty of people in our church that would love to just help the community. So if that's anything, you business owners can feel free to just come down and talk to me. If there's anything you need, just some good old manual labor, people that can help with that, we'd love to make ourselves available.
And Josh really does mean that. Lifeway showed up on Saturday with a cooler full of waters and drinks for everyone that was working. So thank you for that.
We certainly appreciate it.
And just with Lifeway, Wells Fargo, even we are the bank that's closer to the sheriff's office. We also do community volunteering, and you can contact me. My email address is on there, and we can partner with other stores or other banks in the community if we do a moving take. We would love to be a part of that too.
Thank you.
Volunteering.
A large billboard sign maybe help Sylva in the fire crisis. Would bring people in, because Jackson County is not short of people helping. That might do a good, make some kind of campaign, come and help, help the businesses. And the billboard may do that.
Very well might work. Any other comments? Town Hall and Paige in particular will be your contact person. And the town will do all we can to push forward as fast as we can. And again, we do have to meet all the legal steps. But when we get the word, I don't think it's going to take very long to get the building down to the point that the street can be open. A lot of the cleanup can happen after that, but when the two walls come down, then I think it'd be safe probably to open the street.
I'm David Moore with Earwood and Moore, and I just want to, I don't think I'm saying anything that you're probably not, but I just want to make sure that when the building does come down, the town will take all reasonable efforts to minimize traffic, electricity outages, and that type of thing, and give us as much notice as possible. I would also, if there is at all any possibility for the demolition to occur in the evening, nights, something like that, I would encourage that. And I know that that's not really within the municipality's discretion, but I would hope that you're willing to work with the contractors in that regard. Thank you.
Bear in mind, some of us have businesses
can certainly
and those
do that.
evening hours are our business hours.
That's fine.
24/7.
I just wanted to reemphasize something Paige said. I'm Rich Price with Jackson County Economic Development. I've already talked with Ken earlier today. We're going to explore every possible viable location for some of you that may have to relocate, et cetera, because you're displaced. Don't hesitate to contact our office as well. We'll be working in conjunction with Paige to find viable locations to try to assist whenever we can. So.
Speaking of the demolition, when people find out that that building's going to come down, everyone in Jackson County is going to want to watch it happen. Is there going to be anywhere that we could designate people to be out of the way instead of just circling? Because, I mean, it's just where we live. People are going to try to see this come down. Just like they tried to watch
on it now.
We've already changed the Sylva cam.
yeah, they're going to want, I mean, between you guys and Port Frontier, they're going to have to donate their parking lot to the effort.
I don't think this is going to be like an implosion that you watch on TV where they blow it
I
out
don't
and
really
everybody
think
it's right in the center of downtown.
When it goes.
A whole lot of suspect be a spectacular election. Like an enclosure where they
How are you today? Yeah. It's on the other side.
Mr. Mayor, as the owner of WRGC Radio, we feel that it is our responsibility to offer our resources to the town whenever you need us to make announcements on the air concerning any demolition, any specific types of moves for public safety. We will be more than happy to make those announcements for you. We will not charge the town for those services.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Did you hear that, Paige?
No.
He said free.
I'll tell you.
Everyone hasn't signed.
It is important that everybody here, if you want information, sign up on the clipboard and...
Clipboard, pass it this way.
And give us an email address, address if possible.
Or leave us a card, if you got one.
How many people have not signed? We need a second clipboard. Well, really not many, so do we know where the clipboard is? Okay.
I think this meeting is very helpful, and I was wondering if you all think about having another one in a week or so to update everybody on what's going on.
We can do that if necessary. Hopefully that, well, we'll have a regular meeting that anyone, of course, all of our meetings are public, but
hopefully we can have an update on Thursday.
Right, and if we send the emails out on a daily basis, or every other day, whenever new information comes in, I don't know whether we'll need another meeting like this, but if we do, we certainly can have one. You can express those concerns to Paige when you correspond with her. If we need another meeting, we'll certainly have one.
Paige and Dan have been on this thing relentlessly from the beginning, so if you see them, they will know what's going on. And, but I don't know how much sleep they've had in the last 2 or 3 days. I saw them on Main Street all that time, but they have been real diligent in getting the information out the best they can. And if we don't know that, it's going to be hard to make up a story to tell you. So, and right now, until the engineer checks that, we don't know that.
It's going to take all of us working together, and the board, we're all very, very concerned about what's happening, and we hate what's happened, but we're going to have to work together, and there's certain legalities, our hands are tied, and we're just going to have to work together and pull through this.
I've got to make a statement on behalf of the fire chief to all the business owners that have the plywood in the upper sections of the windows. He said that was a hindrance, that without those, if it was just a window, he could have gotten in a lot faster, maybe saved more. So to the business owners who have the plywood in the upper second floors, he's asking if you could possibly replace those with windows.
Is that not part of the building code? Mm-mm. Well, that's something to work on, planning board.
That is something that we maybe should look at. But
Definitely. So unsightly.
For those of us that were down here Saturday while they were trying to get in, it was very obvious the difficulty that getting onto the second floor.
Yeah, instead of just breaking glass, they had to cut with a chainsaw to get through those, or tear them out with an axe.
Anything else? Everyone has asked their question or expressed their opinion. We can close the meeting, but now we want to give you a chance to, if you've got a question, ask it. If not, I'll make a motion.
I might just add,
I know how hard the page is working right now and how hard everybody at Town Hall is. So if you could first check those media, check your email, check the town website before you call Paige, just because I know she's going 100 miles an hour and working as hard as she can. And then I'm sure she'll answer your calls, but if you could first check those for questions to your answers before calling Town Hall, it would help keep things running smooth. And I know, Dan's running in and out even during this message and is sweating the same way. I see him on the street. I know you have a lot of questions for him, but he's going to be working hard too. So if you could check those first, that would help keep things moving.
That's really an excellent idea. And you could submit your questions as well on email, and then when Paige responded, well, everybody could get a copy of it.
And rest assured, she'll do everything she can to get your bids up again.
Anything else, Paige?
I don't think so, but if it is urgent, please don't hesitate to call me instead of email, just until I can. I've got 400 emails right now, but it's going to be a day or two before I see something in the double digits. So, but we will do everything we can to help you.
And you guys are invited to our meeting Thursday. If you don't get a reply from Paige, just come to our meeting.
So this is the mid-month meeting. It'll start at 9:15 Thursday morning. There's nothing else. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All in favor?